Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that tries to cut through the noise, get you the insights that really matter. And today, well, we're wading into the world of beach fishing gear. Can be pretty fun, can also be a bit tricky. We're focusing this deep dive on one specific piece of kit that gets a lot of talk, the Vevor Beach Fishing Cart. Our main source today is a really solid YouTube review. It's called Vevor Beach Fishing Cart Review, Real Sand Beast or DIY Trap. 2025.
Yeah, that's from Savage Reviews. They do good work.
They do. So our mission really is to figure out, is this thing the sand beast, the marketing claims, or is it more of a DIY trap like the title suggests? Needs a lot of user fiddling, maybe. We'll look at the ads, the actual user feedback, and what it all means if you're thinking about getting one.
And that's such a common thing, isn't it? Especially with gear for tough places like the beach. You get these big promises from the marketing, and then there's the reality of using it. It's fascinating, though, how people often find ways, tinker and adapt to make it work anyway, turn it into a bit of a project.
Right, exactly. Okay, so let's get into that marketing first. Vevor really paints a picture, doesn't it? Super optimistic. You look at Amazon, the promo stuff. They're talking about hauling, 200 pounds? Sometimes up to 500 pounds.
Which sounds amazing for beach gear, hauling coolers, rods, everything.
Totally. And the key, those big balloon tires supposedly glide over sand like magic.
With that rubber magic. Right.
Plus, you get rust-resistant aluminum frames, they say, lots of rod holders, cargo decks that, they look great in the photo.
Oh, absolutely. They photograph beautifully, all clean and shiny.
It just screams easy, durable, like this is the solution to dragging all your stuff through soft sand.
And that marketing, it works. You see those perfect shots, the cart just like floating across this perfect beach, and you immediately think, yes, that's what I need.
Yeah.
It hits that desire for just an easier day fishing.
For sure.
But, and this is the big but for you listening, what actually happens when that shiny picture meets, the real world? The gritty sand, the salt spray, the uneven ground. Does it hold up?
Exactly. And that's where user reviews, like the one from Savage Reviews, become so valuable. They show the cart's true colors, maybe, and often, it's pretty stark contrast to the ads. So where do the problems usually start? What's the first big complaint people tend to have?
Well, almost everyone seems to mention the rod holders. It seems like a small thing, but if you're an angler...
It's critical.
Absolutely critical. The main problem, they often ship without stops, just open tubes.
Okay, so what does that mean practically?
It means your expensive surf rod...
Yeah.
Maybe hundreds, even $1,000 worth of rod and reel can just slide right through the tube and start dragging on the ground while you're pulling the cart.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not good. Potential for serious damage.
Big time damage. Tips, reels, guides. The reviewer actually said they had to drill holes and add bolts themselves just to get basic function to stop the rods falling through. So you buy it, and the first thing you're doing is drilling into it to make it safe for your other gear.
Feels a bit like getting a kit car when you thought you bought a finished product.
Exactly. Like some assembly required, and also you'll need a drill and some hardware we didn't include.
Okay, so rod holders are kind of strike one. What about the main selling point, those balloon tires? The sand conquerors. Do they actually work, or is there a catch there too?
Well, the tire situation is interesting, as the review puts it. It's a real mix. On the plus side, yes, they genuinely do help on soft sand. That big footprint makes a difference. Pulling is definitely easier than with skinny wheels.
So they do deliver on that core promise, at least partly.
Partly, yes.
Yeah.
But the catch, it's the durability. Users report the casings are just thin, really thin.
Meaning?
They puncture easily. Think sharp shells, broken glass, bits of driftwood, even old fishing hooks buried in the sand. Stuff you find on almost any beach.
Right, hazards are everywhere.
And here's the kicker. Apparently they're not patchable. Not like a bike tire you can just slap a patch on.
Seriously? So a puncture means...
It means you need a whole new tire. And if you're loaded down with gear when it happens, well, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Suddenly that cheap cart isn't so cheap if you're buying replacement tires often.
Okay. So good concept with the tires, helps with sand, but maybe not built tough enough for the environment. A bit fragile.
You could say that. Fragile for a place that demands toughness.
And speaking of things falling apart, assembly. Sounds simple enough, but the review suggests experiences are all over the place.
Oh, wildly different. It's like lottery. Some people.
Okay.
Success stories. They say it's sturdy, goes together easily, works fine.
Okay, the ideal scenario.
Then you get the other side.
Mm.
Horror stories. People talk about bolts just working themselves loose constantly, wheels literally falling off while they're hauling gear.
Oh, no, that's bad.
And here's a really concerning one. The discovery that the plastic rod holders, they're not just for holding rods. They actually act as structural supports between sections of the aluminum frame.
Wait, plastic parts holding the metal frame together?
Yep. Plastic tubes bringing gaps in the metal, which, from an engineering standpoint, is questionable. Plastic gets brittle with UV, temperature changes, vibration, so those plastic bits become these critical failure points. If one snaps, especially under load on uneven sand, the whole cart could just collapse.
Wow. That sounds like a pretty major design flaw hiding in plain sight.
It seems like a cost-cutting measure that really compromises the integrity.
Okay, so if things do go wrong, if parts are missing or it breaks, what about getting help, customer service, instructions?
Well, this seems to follow what the review calls predictable Vevor patterns, which doesn't sound
That
great.
doesn't. What does that mean?
It means reports of missing hardware right out of the box are common. Then, if you need replacements, you might get the wrong parts sent.
Oh, that's frustrating. Running you in circles.
Exactly. Or you get troubleshooting advice, but it's for a completely different Vevor product, like they don't quite know what you bought.
Not confidence inspiring.
Yep.
And the instructions?
Apparently written assuming you have an engineering degree and psychic abilities. Vague, maybe poorly translated, missing steps. You're left kind of guessing.
So basically, you're on your own quite a bit.
Seems that way for many users. It adds another layer of potential frustration to the whole experience.
Okay, so let's recap. We've got rod holders that need fixing, tires that work on sand but puncture easily and aren't patchable, assembly that can be a nightmare, potential structural weak points, and customer service that might leave you hanging. You'd think, based on all that, people would just give up on these carts.
Right.
Avoid them completely.
Logically, yes. But here's the twist, the really interesting part. A lot of anglers don't give up. They actually make these things work.
How? What's the secret?
The secret, according to the review, is basically treating it like a high-maintenance relationship. It requires constant maintenance and realistic expectations.
Okay, so not exactly buy it and forget it gear.
Definitely not. We're talking daily bolt checks. Like before every trip, you tighten everything up. You're constantly monitoring tire pressure. You just have to accept that the convenience it offers, well, it comes with these compromises. It turns into a weekend engineering project.
A hobby within a hobby.
Pretty much. You embrace the tinkering, you expect things might loosen or break, and you figure out how to fix or improve them. It demands mechanical stubbornness, as the review nicely puts it.
So it's a commitment, but if you are willing to put in that effort, that stubbornness, does it actually deliver on the beach mobility part?
For those who embrace that approach, yes. They manage to get that beach mobility, but it's achieved through their own effort and adaptation, not just the inherent quality of the cart out of the box.
So you're basically paying a lower price up front, but you're subsidizing it with your own time and mechanical skills.
That's a perfect way to put it. And this leads straight into the economics of it, doesn't it? For
Yeah.
you, the potential buyer. You look at the Vevor, then you look at the professional beach carts, the ones built like tanks.
Right, the high-end ones.
Those often cost twice as much, maybe even more. But what are you getting for that extra money?
Presumably, rod holders that actually hold rods.
Exactly. Functional rod holders with stops. Tires that are genuinely puncture-resistant, multi-ply construction, better hardware, more robust engineering overall, less likelihood of things just falling apart.
So the Vevor's lower price point basically comes with an assumption that you're okay with doing some DIY, that you maybe even enjoy a bit of a mechanical challenge.
Precisely. It's priced for the tinkerer, the person who doesn't mind getting their hands dirty and making modifications.
Does that mean it has no place then? Is it always a bad buy?
Not necessarily. For casual beach fishing, maybe you only go a few times a year, you're not hauling hundreds of pounds, it could still work adequately. Because the core benefit, those balloon tires helping on sand, that part is real. And the cargo space is usually fine for typical loads.
It's just about managing your expectations, knowing what you're getting into.
Exactly. The key takeaway for anyone listening who's considering one is budget beyond the sticker price. You absolutely need to budget for modifications. Plan on needing bolts for the rod holders, maybe some reinforcing brackets.
Budget for replacement tires, too, sounds like.
Definitely budget for at least one set of replacement tires. And maybe most importantly, have backup plans when bolts explore freedom, as the reviewer cleverly phrased it. Know how you'll fix it on the beach or how you'll get your gear back if it fails.
It's about understanding the total cost, not just in money, but in time, effort, and potential frustration.
It's a value proposition that asks more of you than just opening your wallet.
Okay, so we've really dug into this Vevor Beach Fishing Cart. We've seen the shiny promises, the sometimes gritty reality of the pitfalls, the design quirks, but also the impressive ways that users adapt, the mechanical stubbornness that makes it work for them.
Yeah, and it leaves you, the listener, with a really interesting question to ponder, I think. When you're buying gear for something you're passionate about, like fishing, how much value do you put on getting something that's perfectly engineered, totally reliable, works flawlessly right out of the box? Are you willing to pay that premium?
Versus,
Versus the potential satisfaction or maybe the deep frustration of taking something that's kind of a DIY trap, something flawed, and turning it into a genuinely functional tool through your own skills, your own ingenuity.
that willingness to tinker, to make it your own, even if it means dealing with its flaws.
Exactly. It's a whole spectrum, isn't it? Cost versus convenience versus personal effort. And where you fall on that spectrum probably says a lot about how you approach not just buying gear, but maybe lots of things.
A fascinating thought to end on. What does value truly mean to you when it comes to your gear and your time? Something to definitely think about.